Hey Taylor, uh, this is my as quick as possible demo of Draftsman. Uh, so, what was the first database tool you probably used when you were working for that trucking company? If I had to guess, I would probably guess it was MS Access. I was Mac guy, so it was FileMaker, but they both had these tools that provided a GUI for managing your relationships. Um, This is a couple of screenshot. This is a couple of screenshots of FileMaker, and as you can see, it's got tables, fields, and relationships. And this is where you go to make your tables. This is where you go to make your fields for the tables, and this is where you go to take a look at the relationships. Now, all of these, of course, were drag and drop too, so you could reorganize things, but it shows you there's actually three different states. One is like condensed, where it's just the name of the table. One is where it's the relationships that exist only. And then one is where it's expanded out. So, like, it shows at the top still what the relationships are, but then down below the different um, fields, or what would be attributes for us. So for most of what I'm working on, though, it's a existing app already that's full size, typical Laravel app, with 40 to 50 models. And it's got all the typical stuff. Oops, like login and admin. And, each model has a ton of relationships. Like this is the user model, and it's got name, it's got age, entries, horses, experiences, likes, minors, orders, writer signature page, stables. I mean, it's got everything. So the thing is, when I jump into a new project, one of the things I tend to need to do is get myself a sense of what the landscape is. So, there are a bunch of different tools, but one that you can use is Invoker, and they have a nice ERD tool. But of course, once it loads up, it's like, wow, it's huge. It's way kind of all over the place. And then you got to go find where the models actually are all together. Oh, looking. But you definitely get the spaghetti feel. Like this is just huge. And if you zoom in, you can see, oh, this is a morph many, this is a has many, this is a belongs to. Like that's really useful information, but it's also big. Um, Now, one of the other interesting tools that's actually built into the framework now is a tool called Model Show. And you tell it PHP Artisan, Model Show, and give it the name of the model. Now, this very interestingly shows you the table name and then all the different attributes: ID, first name, city, last name, the relations, and even the observers. So that's a lot of useful information. Now, one of the things that I discovered while I was poking around on Model Show is there's a JSON version of it. So I thought, well, what if we use that to drive a tool to visualize the relationships? So let me show you Draftsman Dev for Blue Horse. Well, I mean, doesn't have any organization yet or anything like that. So it's kind of just as spaghetti, even though it's just showing like the main models and their relationships. And it uses the data from model show to drive this. But here we can see like, oh, look, we've got users, and you could like pull users over here. Wow, look at all those relationships and teams, and even horses over here. Oh, horses over here now. Now, of course, we've got some tooling to help us manage that a little bit. So right now it's the default view. Um, we can also do smooth step, which gives you kind of the straight angular edges instead of the curvy edges, which I kind of like better, especially for this level of stuff. Problem is, of course, everything's overlapping everything. So like if you pull team aside, it kind of shows. We can also do straight, which I think, is kind of useful too. Kind of like it better than the curvy lines, at least at this overview level. And again, there's user, and you can see all the relationships coming in and out of it. Now, the next thing I want to be able to do, and I haven't programmed it yet, but if you double click on one, like it should drill down. Um, I haven't programmed the double click, but I've programmed the drill down, and it, focuses on the user model, and you can see all of the different models that are related to the user model. Also got a side-by-side view, so you can see team and user. Um, so in fact, and if you zoom in, you can see, okay, here's user ID poking over to user ID, right? So just team and user, though, it's, not so cute. But I think the other thing that's also useful is building the relationships with the GUIs. And so we're going to take a look at a clean install of Laravel Breeze. And and of course, it's going to start in detail mode. And, as you can see, there's only one model there, user. If we look in the IDE, you can see in models, there's just user. So let's add a model. We're going to add the team model. If you look at, there's the team model, and here's a team model right here. Okay, it doesn't have anything yet. And look at that. Okay, we could add let's add and call it owner ID. We can connect owner ID to user ID. Let's go ahead and add horse. Look at that. And so we have team and horse and user. But wait, this is the magic. Grab user ID, we drop it onto horse, and oh no, not yet, but soon. Anyway, I think this is a really useful way, a really interesting way to build the relationships, visual tool. And it's one of the few tools that I think is actually missing from our community right now. Uh, so hopefully I'll be building it soon. In any case, that's my demo. Hope you liked it. If you have feedback or anything, go ahead and email me at ron.northrop@gmail.com. Have a good one.